Hey, thank you for joining the live stream. Duluth, Minnesota. It is 27 degrees Fahrenheit right now, approximately 1:40 p.m. Central Time. Very light wind today, 8 mile per hour south winds, so pretty nice day right now. What you have in front of you, this is the Floragracht. If you joined the live stream this morning, we saw her arrive around 6 o'clock this morning. Much colder at that time than it is right now. But she is sitting right now in Port Terminal. You can see she has the hatches that have been raised. They have the cranes that are all set for the offloading process. To give you a good idea where I'm at, this is the Flora expansion terminal. So I'm able to give you a really good shot because I have access to the pier. You have the Duluth hillside right there in the background. Hey Madison, how are you? There's those antennas that are on the hillside of Duluth. Hey Will, how are you? So we're just going to continue from this morning, taking a look at the Floragracht. This is what they call a salty ocean going vessel that comes inbound to the Great Lakes. Hey Teresa, wanted to give you this interesting perspective. Again, a very, very nice day right now. I guess it's all perspective where you live. 27 degrees if you've followed the live streams that I've done here over the last few days. Feels quite balmy, honestly. You have the Duluth Harbor that goes along here. You would have the Duluth lift bridge. If this cargo was not there, you'd see the Duluth lift bridge right in that general direction. You have over here, if you look on a map, look at the Blotnick Bridge. Look up Blotnick Bridge. That's what you see right there. That connects Duluth, Minnesota to Superior, Wisconsin. Yep, we're on the Duluth side right now. This is in the Duluth Harbor. I'm on the Flora expansion pier. This is Port Terminal where the Floragracht is at. It's where a lot of the international cargo winds up. Now the Floragracht, this is interesting. She is coming inbound, they said, with project equipment. So I was trying to do some research for you to try to determine what she was actually bringing in. If you recall, I did a video here a few weeks ago. This is the actual pier that I was on. If you remember those wind turbine blades, you can see them right down there in the distance. I mean, they are massive when you were right next to it. So I'm going to set this camera down so we can take a better look, stabilize it. Let's take a better look at the vessel. So she's coming in, like I said, she's here to offload project equipment. Good looking ship. You can see those hatches. Let me give you a better shot of some of these cranes that they have over here. I don't see too much work happening. I did see a couple crew members that were on the actual deck. Floragracht, she is from the Netherlands, 447 feet in total length. She came in from Thunder Bay this morning. Actually, I watched her before I went to sleep last night on AIS. And she made her way in this morning around 6 o'clock. Came from Thunder Bay. Got some pretty massive cranes that do a lot of that offloading. That has to be a pretty fun job, but also pretty nerve-wracking at the same time. You got to make sure you don't make any mistakes. Got a lot of people that they trust you to be making the right moves with some of that heavy equipment that's being moved around. Wanted to see a little more action here for you, but not sure if these sailors from the Netherlands are interested in watching the NFL games. I know that the Minnesota Vikings are playing this afternoon. Show you a couple crew members on the deck here walking around. Take a look how large those hatches are that are open there. Obviously they're all mechanical. Nice to have a day where you don't have too much wind to deal with. That whole bridge there with the pilot house and the bridge there, it's a very large structure. Hey Pamela, how are you? Great to see you. If you're joining, we're doing a live stream here in Duluth, Minnesota. We are in the Duluth Harbor looking at an ocean-going vessel that came in via Lake Superior to Duluth under the area lift bridge this morning at 6:10 this morning. This is the Floragracht from the Netherlands, 447 feet in length. She came in with a load of, it was called project equipment, so I couldn't really give you too much more information. I'll have to do some research, but again, where we are at, this is the Flora expansion terminal where I'm standing right now. Got those large wind turbine blades in the distance. This is where a lot of the international cargo winds up when it comes inbound to Duluth. Duluth Hillside, that would be considered West Duluth, I believe, Will, if you can confirm, or Madison on that side. Then over here where you'd have the lift bridge would be in this general direction. Got the sun on my back right now, so it gives us a pretty good view of the vessel. I'm gonna have to get down here one of these days when they're actually doing the work and they're doing the offloading. I think it'll be interesting for all of us to really see that happening in action live. Be really fun to check out those cranes as they're operating. I'm sure the crew, they're probably pretty tired. That's been a long voyage, obviously, going from the ocean to here. She came in, she made a stop at Thunder Bay, Canada, and I looked at the report. I know Chuck and I keep our eye on that all the time. We're watching what's going on, and Chuck, I don't know if you saw it, but it said the actual time, the elapsed time for the Floragracht to make it to Duluth from Thunder Bay was 14 hours and 2 minutes, I believe. So pretty long voyage for the crew, the captain for sure. So I think they'll probably get a lot of this underway as far as offloading, most likely tomorrow. Massive bow there on the front, you can see. No mistaking that that's a salty. Again, the terminology of a salty, that's a ocean-going vessel that makes its way here onto the Great Lakes. Definitely a long voyage, no doubt about it. Yeah, a day of rest for the crew, Chuck. I think you're right about that. I think the big day of work starts tomorrow. Probably aligns with the workers here in Minnesota to show up to work. Has to definitely be an interesting job. Hard work, but you know, it's a way of life for a lot of people. They work during a specific season timeline and, you know, away from their families to do this, to move cargo and really helping the whole logistics chain with goods and things reaching us here in the United States. Well, I can tell you, if you do a tie down on this. I'm sure this isn't going anywhere. And you got quite a few of these all the way down. Yeah, I thought it'd be interesting for us to take a look at the back side of the harbor and see what's going on. Oh, let me take a look here. Madison was wondering if these are ducks or loons. Let's take a look what we got going on here. Beautiful day here in Duluth, Minnesota. I got some other live streams. I just started doing the live streams. I've been doing a lot of the videos and posting them at a later date just because I'm a big person about quality with videos. But honestly, I've always wanted someone to be live down when the ships are coming in next to the lift bridge. So I'll sacrifice the quality just to be there live, so it just gives you another option when you're watching the harbor cams. You have a person that's walking on down there next to the lift bridge along the pier. Usually I'm on the south side, as you know, so we can see that hillside of Duluth. Beautiful day, light wind. Oh yeah, no, I got 1 foot on the side here. I'm not going anywhere. There is a lot of ice. There's snow. You can see the ice and the snow. Then what you have over here, this is a lot of cargo that came off the vessels coming inbound to Duluth, sitting here obviously waiting for some of the upcoming projects. So they're really a storage point. Real industrial feel when you're on the piers here. Anger Tower, I'll show you that. That's a famous location in Duluth, Minnesota. You might want to Google that if you're not from the area. Anger Tower. Fantastic view from there of the entire Duluth Harbor. Yeah, I figured I'd come out and show you what's going on. Nice weather conditions, and really it's just a bonus video that shows the continuation of the Floragracht making it in this morning. And I got to tell you, when I was half asleep, it was about 5:40, 5:30, and I just pulled up AIS, which is how you track the vessels worldwide where they're at, and I saw this ship wasn't too far out, and I said, you know what, I'm just going out. Very cold this morning, but I'll tell you, this morning I think it was 10 degrees, and it felt like -2, I believe, with the wind chill when I checked. But right now it's 27 degrees. I know that sounds cold, but I'm sitting out here right now. I actually have my gloves off so then I can control the screen a lot better here as I zoom in. I can sure tell you I would not be doing that this morning. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Sunday. Got Thanksgiving weekend here in the United States. That's coming up next week. A lot of people have a 4-day weekend. We have a plane that's going to be going over. I believe it's like a Cessna. Give you a peek at that. Not sure where that plane is going. In this direction, you have the land that you see over there, where that building is. That is Park Point. You would have the lift bridge in that area. You would go across the lift bridge. This would be Park Point. At the very end, in this direction, at the very end of Park Point, it's called Sky Harbor Airport, and that's just a smaller base. It's a lot of float planes and very small aircraft that are based out of there. So That's a nice day for a flight, don't you think, looking down? Then over in this direction, I know that there's quite a few trains. I hear the air brakes on them now and then. It's, like I said, a very industrial area. This is where a lot of the work gets done. It's very fun watching the ships, the boats come in and out of the lift bridge, but a lot of the work is getting done. I mean, they're here to do work. They're here to transport goods and product, and this is where this is kind of the nucleus of where a lot of this happens. Yeah, Chuck, I think you're talking about the Blotnick Bridge being closed. If that's what you're talking about, I believe it was closed temporarily. I know at least they got it down to one lane of traffic. They're talking about redoing this bridge. There are some funds that have been allocated. Now, I don't know who really pays for that because it might be a split cost between the state of Minnesota and the state of Wisconsin. So since it connects both, that's what my guess would be. But there have been talks, and I believe it has been agreed upon that they will be redoing that bridge. They were addressing the lanes. I know that they've been doing that over the last month or so. Got a very large crane over here in the distance as well. I see quite a few trucks. Again, this is just additional parking, it looks like, for some of the crews and probably the work that they do here on the pier. I don't know if you saw that video I did. If you go take a look, I got quite a few videos. I mean, maybe 100 at this point in Duluth. Maybe I'm off in that number, a little less, but I definitely will get to that point of a lot of things in Duluth, not only drives, ships, just give you a feel for what Duluth, Minnesota is all about. One of my favorite videos personally is, I did it about a month ago. It was on the timber pier, and I was able to show you the pilot house of a decommissioned vessel from the lakes that they saved the pilot house. So go take a look at that. I thought that was pretty fun to take a look at that. And you see the lift bridge, and that's just a little further down this way. Again, 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's take a look at those hatches again. So from what it looks like they fold up, if you can see that. Well, actually, we have a crane that's in operation here. So let me go back here, and looks like they're actually starting the unloading process right now. So let me stabilize this. Let me stabilize this camera for you, and let's take a look what's going on. Maybe we can make out what this cargo is. They said it is project equipment. And as you watch that crane moving, whatever that is, take a look at the hatches right here. Or it's a large hatch. It looks like it folds up. That's what it looks like to me, that it's a hydraulic system where those hatches fold up like that, and I think it's completely exposed from basically where you see that cargo being moved to where the hatches are. I'll bet you that's completely exposed the way that folds up the way it does. Yeah, so Chuck, it looks like they, I don't know about that rest happening. Okay, and then you can see the crane operator right up there. What's amazing is this is all self-contained on this one vessel. The crane, just everything they need to do their work to offload it is all right there. Very impressive ship, no doubt about it. Love to be able to see exactly what they were what they were, what kind of cargo that was. Now you have another one of those cranes that's kind of blocking the view. Interesting color scheme. If you notice, you have green and red with the offset of white with the lettering, and also the bridge, the pilot house. It really has a good look. You can tell the Salties, just they have that massive on the stern. They got that massive superstructure there with the pilot house. Then you have also on the back on the very back there of the stern, it looks like you have some of those rescue type of vessels that you jump into. And Chuck, correct me if I'm wrong on that. Those boats that they take when, let's say that this they were having some issues and they had to abandon ship, I believe these are self-contained on the very back. That's not open. I believe once they're in there, they can actually close a door and take away the issue of being exposed to the elements. All right, let's watch the crane. Looks like they... You know, I have to remember what the name of that was. If you go on there, Pamela, that video that I'm talking about, I believe it was done about a month ago. So you have live streams that I've done, and then you have the standard videos. The one that you'll see a thumbnail that shows, and I believe there's something that mentions an old boat's pilot house or something to that effect. And it's so cool because when they decommission that vessel, the owner of this company over here that has the timber company, he has since passed away, but he saved that. He saved that vessel. And again, I know some people would probably think it's kind of boring just to watch the ship moving some cargo at the crane. I mean, look, this is a Sunday. This is a day that, you know, you're supposed to be resting and relaxing. Well, guess what I am? This to me is relaxing, getting my mind away from things. I mean, we all do that, you know. Whatever we're doing during the week, whatever we have going on in our life, it's these type of things that pull you away from that and help you focus on something that's a little lighter in topic, you know. And to me, it's just very interesting just to see what's going on out here on the water. I've always loved Lake Superior, Great Lakes in general, and to me, this is really relaxing. And you know, if you enjoy it too, that's wonderful. We'll just go on these adventures together. There's going to be a lot of live streaming that I'm going to be doing here in Duluth. When I'm up here, I'll be up here pretty much every weekend, really. So when the weather gets rough, I'll be out there. I have a camera, or I have a case that is waterproof, so I'll be able to get out there in any type of conditions, so then we can really see what's going on up close. See if we can get a little look at that cargo here. Yeah, and Chuck's a great guy. I mean, he really has shown me a couple sites that really have helped me even expand my knowledge on the vessels, and you know, even checking some of these weather sites. Even windy.com is one that he pointed me out to, where you really get a good idea of the wind, what direction is, and you have a visual representation of it, so that kind of helps. So I think the curiosity here is they said they are, at least the notification said that there is project equipment. The Floragracht is offloading, so I think just trying to figure out what we're seeing here. There you go. You got some a crew member that's there working on the cargo being offloaded. getting back to those crews that work on these vessels, it's you really got to dedicate yourself, because you're away from your family, and this really becomes your secondary family. So, you know, they really earn their money and their keep, and they're doing a really good thing for all of us, really. If you think about, you just never know some of these, what the cargo is used for, that might help your life in some way that is second or third connected, you know? I'd really like to see one of those big cranes in operation that we see right there, the white crane. Well, there's no doubt about it that the cranes, I mean, the weight capacity has to be pretty substantial. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up here in a few seconds. Everybody that's joining the live stream, thank you. And there's going to be plenty of live streams coming up, so make sure that you subscribe so you can see everything live. It's going to be a lot of ships coming in and outbound under the aerial lift bridge is really predominantly what you're going to see, but things like this, where we can see a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes. What are they doing when they're here? I'll try to find fun things like this so we can go on a little adventure together. So check out some of the other videos I have. I think you'll enjoy it as well. Hey Jason, how are you? Yeah, Jason was out last night bringing news to everybody. That's Minnesota news now. Well, you know, Pamela, I'll tell you this. You say Jason doesn't sleep. Well, Jason, he says the same about you. So I don't know which one of you actually do sleep. We'll have to get to the bottom of that. That might be a whole nother story, right? But yeah, so we'll let the crew here with the Floragracht get back to action here, and they'll probably be busy all day, all night. And this gives you a little peek at what they're doing, and we can go back to our Sunday. Now I'm keeping my eye on the vessels coming in or going out here in Duluth. It doesn't look like there's going to be any vessel traffic until later tonight when Burns Harbor will be arriving, and at this time they're forecasting possibly I don't know, midnight, maybe 1 a.m. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, but I'll keep my eye out on what's going on. You never know. So I'll see you the next time. Have a wonderful Sunday, and we'll get together soon.